Hey, everybody. Welcome to ABA Inside Track, the podcast that's like reading in your car, but safer. I'm your host, Robert Perry Cruz, and with me, as always, are my fabulous co-hosts.
Hello, Rob. It's Diana.
And it's me, Jackie, loving on everyone because it's February.
No, we did not consent to that. That is not.
That is actually true. We should all be wearing masks still. And social distancing.
Yeah, but we are in the comfort of our own home.
That's true. I am virtually hugging everyone. Giving them a big February squeeze. And if you want to feel, if you guys want to feel that, you just do it yourself.
Oh.
See?
It's nice.
We have the same sweater on, it looks like.
Yeah, twinsies.
But anyway, this isn't a podcast about February or hugging yourself or gray sweaters. This is a podcast about behavior analysis and behavior analytic research, where every week we talk about a new topic and discuss relevant research to that topic. But at the beginning of every month, what we like to do is tell everyone what we're going to be doing for a preview of everything coming out this month. So you get a chance to look at some of the article citations, maybe read ahead, maybe think about how you're going to say how wrong we are, whatever you want to do with that information. And so that's what this is, our February preview. And so I have a present for you.
You do?
It's a flower.
Thank you.
Happy February.
Aww.
Oh, it died. Oh, no.
What happened there? Here, Jackie, you try it.
Thanks.
Oh, we didn't have the right props for this joke.
No, but
and if you're listening to this, you're like, "What? This is just silence. What is happening?"
But that's more funny when that happens.
We're doing some prop comedy.
Comedy. It's gotten so big.
Whoa!
Wow! Through the magic of television.
It's just like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory when Mike TV goes into the TV.
He got smaller though.
Yeah, you know.
Details.
I mean, with these HD screens nowadays, everything's bigger, right? Okay, well, we're sorry, everyone. We're a little punchy. We just had our we're recording this kind of in the mid-January. We just had our January social meetup with some of the folks from the Patreon, some of the Patreon subscribers, which is always a lot of fun. We talked about some Disney movies. We talked about various topics related to like sexuality. We talked about dog training for quite a long time. I asked some burning dog training questions. So if you haven't joined or you're interested in joining, it is always a lot of fun. And you can subscribe on our page, patreon.com/ABA Inside Track. For just $5 a month, you can join us every month, as well as get access to a special podcast feed that comes out a little bit earlier. We're trying to make it even earlier as time goes on, but we're not that technologically savvy. So we're figuring that stuff out. And speaking of, we actually are going to be doing on Patreon our second book club. So if you are new to the show or it's first time hearing about it, we did a book club on the book Meaningful Differences by Hart and Risley. We did that. When was that? November? October? It was in the fall. And we had a lot of, sometime in 2020. We won't speak of that year anymore. And we had a lot of fun doing that. We spent, 2+ hours talking all about Hart and Risley. You guys wanted to kill me. I had a great time. I could have talked for another 30, 40 minutes about Meaningful Differences. And we've got even longer books, I think, that are in the poll. So if you're hearing this now and you did not vote or go to the Patreon page and vote, you can't because the poll is over. It's not over now when we're recording this, but it will be over when you're seeing this. So I'm going to use the magic of editing to say the winner was
Neurotribes by Steve Silberman.
Just heard what it was. That's going to be a great book. I'm so excited. That book was the winning book. What a book. So we'll be recording that in March, to come out in March or early March. But again, patreon.com/ABA Inside Track. We also put that on our social media when those things are. So if you're interested in joining us and getting that special feed, also those podcasts are worth 2 learning credits just by being a member of our Patreon, because we're always looking for ways.
You still have to listen.
You still have to listen to the show, but you can only access that if you are subscribed on the Patreon. So you might want to check that out. I'm just saying, could be great. You saw what book it was. We don't know yet, but it was great.
That's a great book.
Wow, how great. Anyway, that's enough about us, as much fun as that all is. Why don't we get into what we'll be discussing in the coming month of February, shall we?
All right, that's my job. I'm going to do that. So we have 3 episodes planned for February.
Why only 3?
Because this one is the first week of February.
You're supposed to, because February is the shortest month.
Because February is the shortest month of the year.
Because 7, 8, 9. No,
yes.
you're getting this.
Yes. Well, you can't have more than 4 Wednesdays in February, unless it's leap year and this year's not.
Oh.
Nope.
So that's why there's only 3 episodes, I guess.
Mm.
And I'm going to tell you about them in no particular order. The first topic that we will be discussing is turn taking. And we'll talk about that more specifically in the context of gameplay. So there's 3 articles for that topic. They are teaching young children with special needs and their peers to play board games, effects of a least to most prompting procedure to increase independent performance. That was by Davis, Temple, Jung, and Sainato in Behavior Analysis and Practice 2014. Next up, an empirical examination of effective practices for teaching board game play to young children by Barton, Pokorski, Sweeney, Velez, Gossett, Q, Flaherty, and Domingo. That was published in the Journal of Positive Behavioral Interventions 2018. And then to round that out, we will be discussing teaching board games to 2 children with autism spectrum disorder by Oppenheim-Leaf, and Call in the Journal of Developmental and Physical Disabilities 2012.
Oh, fun. Jackie, what's your favorite board game? You love games.
I now have a newfound love of games, and my new found love of a game is Guess Who High School Reunion Edition. It's very fun. But weird. And I also like the national park game called Parks.
That is a good game.
That one is not as weird. You just are pretending you're a hiker going through 4 seasons and seeing all the different national parks. It's very pretty.
We gotta do that online. We gotta do you, me, Diana, and your husband.
That would be fun.
That would be super fun.
And we
I like
also
that game
should play.
too.
We should also play Guess Who High School Reunion Edition.
We only have the Disney edition, so we'll each have a different board, and it'll just be a terrible thing.
I'll drop a board off at your house.
Okay.
Okay. The next topic that we were going to be discussing, we have a special guest for, and that is Dr. Megan Heineke, and we will be discussing traumatic and acquired brain injury, which is a topic that she's been researching for quite some time. So we have 3 articles, of which she is an author on all 3, I believe. Did another hat trick here, just like Dr. Megan Boyle did. And these articles are using differential reinforcement to decrease academic response latencies of an adolescent with acquired brain injury. That was by Heineke and Carr, published in JABA 2009. Next up, expanding the consumer base for behavior analytics services, meeting the needs of consumers in the 21st century by LeBlanc, Heineke, and Baker. And that was published in BAP in one of the years in which they did not include dates.
It was 2013.
But there were at least 20 past 2012. Rob's telling me 2013. I'm hearing 2013. So it must be 2013.
It's really breezy out here, Diana.
Run it back to you, Rob. All right. And then finally, applied behavior analysis in acquired brain injury rehabilitation, a meta-analysis of single case design intervention research. That's by Heineke and Carr, published in Behavioral Interventions 2014, and that is a thick one. So the lot of stuff to review.
Well, it's a meta-analysis.
It's meta.
But also Behavioral Interventions has the widest margins.
They like the margins.
Journal.
No, autism. They're like, there's like this much. It's like 1/3 of the page has writing on it. Yeah.
I think that's so between Dr. Megan Boyle, Dr. Megan Heineke, that's 2 all Megan articles we've done related to behavior analysis. So if you are a researcher in the field of behavior analysis and your name is Megan and we have not had you on the show, get in touch with us.
Please
at
reach out.
abainsidetrack@gmail.com. We're going to do it. We're going to get every Megan who's published research in behavior analysis on this show. We're going to do that. We're going to be the first one.
Wow.
Put us on the map.
Put that on the map. That's right.
Okay.
That's what they'll remember us for.
All right. So now we're going to take a detour away from Megan's, but we will have a special guest for our 3rd episode in February. And in this one, the topic is going to be higher education in the college setting. It's a working title. And we have Dr. Darlene Crone-Todd, who's going to come on to talk to us. So that's going to be exciting. And we have 3 articles here again. They are assessment of
4.
Oh, I'm so sorry. 4 articles. Assessment of thinking in learners, published by Crone-Todd. And that was in the Behavioral Development Bulletin, 2007. Then we have assessment of thinking levels and students' answers by semester 2001. That was published in Academic Exchange Quarterly. Then we have the application of Bloom's taxonomy to PSI. That was by Crone, Todd, and Pear, published in the Behavior Analyst today.
But it wasn't
not
published today.
Not today. And
That's
I'm looking for the year, and I'm so sorry that I don't know it. Well, it was prior to today.
The citation is on the website with
Well,
the year.
We'll review that in more detail during the episode. And finally, operational definitions for higher order thinking, objectives at the post-secondary level by Crone, Todd, Pear, and Reed. And that was published in the Academic Exchange in 2000.
In the year 2000.
So I'm pretty excited. I read some of these prior to this in preparation for a study that I was working on. So I'm excited to get to talk to Dr. Darlene about that. And that's it.
Very
that
nice.
will round us out for February.
That's a good February.
Yeah.
We had a lot of stuff to talk about in February. A lot of fun guests too.
Do you know what
Music.
else happens in February? Groundhog's Day.
Oh man, we should have done our groundhog puppet bit that the
Next
listeners would
time.
really have enjoyed because they couldn't
In
have seen it.
March. In March, we'll do a Groundhog's Day.
Like it's February again. Is that the bit?
Oh, that's a good bit.
I know. Anyway.
Nice.
Oh boy, oh boy. I think the only other thing we hadn't talked about before we get into errata would be the release of the new ethics code. Well, the release of the ethics code to review in preparation for it being the formal ethics code next year.
Sure.
January 1st, 2022. So I don't know about you guys. I mean, I know we don't want to spend a lot of time talking about it now because, it's something people are probably just, reading and just starting to dig into a little more depth. But I was looking at it a little more depth today, and I think it's a good evolution of a code for our field. So I don't know. Do you have any hot takes, to start off?
I think that people should listen to the episode that we're going to create on that in the coming months.
Oh, I don't want to spoil in case we didn't decide. We decided, maybe we don't want to do one on that. But
We're doing it,
oh,
and
I already did some notes, Jackie. Don't worry.
The listeners are clamoring for it.
yeah.
It'll be good. But
Spoilers, I liked it. I love ethics.
all right, I think it's time to throw it over to Jackie.
All right, so now it's official. Right? You guys don't want a hot take? We're going to be
Oh.
YouTube sensations by making faces like, oh, what ethics? Oh, code 1.16.
I
Ah,
think I'm too old for that.
you know what?
Yeah.
That's why I'm never going to get old, Diana, because I'm hip and like the things the kids do.
So I was doing this 8-hour training, and it was developed by one of my colleagues. And once it's all ready and set, then I'm gonna tell people to do it too because it's pretty good. But when she was speaking, she was like, "And I'm a middle-aged woman." And I was like, "What? I'm not." I texted her. I was like, "So I have one minor revision right at the beginning. You are not a middle-aged woman." But anyway, that's not what we're gonna talk
She's
about.
our age was the
She's our age,
yeah.
which is not middle-aged.
Couldn't be. Surely not.
We're all going to live to 100, so you still got plenty of time. Plenty
Yeah.
of time before you're middle-aged.
Okay, so the first email that I want to write is from one of our listeners.
Do you want to read it or write it?
I'm gonna write it.
I'm being
You write it.
sassy. It's February.
It's late and I'm tired.
Jackie ghost writes all our emails.
Dear ABSA Track, you
You are
are
the
the best. I
But
learned
that's
so
not
much from you.
I mean, like,
You know what? I would appreciate if you wrote them, but you never told us that was the scam you were running just to
Like
make us
4
feel
years.
better. I started in the early days of the podcast when nobody listened to you, and I just never stopped.
and Gmail was like, you have to stop making fake Gmail
Right?
accounts.
It's too many.
How are you getting all of these names? You've not left anyone an original Gmail account now. Okay, so listener one wants to say that they've been really enjoying our podcast, and they had a question about whether we were going to potentially talk about acceptance and commitment therapy again. And it seems there's been an increase in interest in this, an increase in acts surrounding ASD diagnoses, and how those can go together. And spoiler alert again,
We're not ever going to do that. No, sorry. It's off. We did it once. You only do it one time.
Spoiler alert, we are going to have a special guest on in March, I believe.
It's
the February preview. I don't remember what we put down for March yet.
Yeah, in March, that will be released. So thanks for, I was like, oh my gosh, great minds think alike. We were thinking the same thing. So that's really awesome.
Yeah. And in case anyone didn't know, we do have a previous episode on ACT, which is episode 75 with Dr. Adam Haas. So you could definitely go back and listen to that while you're waiting for the new one too.
I think of that. I think of some of the exercises and activities that Dr. Haas shared with us from some of his kind of his trainings with parents. I like visualize them. There's one training room in the district I work in where like every time I go in that room, I'm like, I can imagine that training in this room and doing the ACT activities and talking about values.
The activities.
That's
what they call it.
I don't know if they do, and they really should.
But they should.
They really should.
Okay.
All right. And then the last email I want to highlight is from a listener who really appreciated the content of episode 128, which we had on our friends Kat and Adrian on, who are also the founders of BABA. And our listener said that she's also a member of BABA, and having other people with my same types of experience of being a practitioner of color in our field is so refreshing. So thanks for having them on our show.
Awesome.
And we felt the same way. I think they provided a lot of great information and a lot of things that we all should be thinking about. So if you haven't listened to that episode, I would highly recommend that be your go-to for your car ride, your walk, episode 128.
Yeah.
If you haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah, which is titled Diversity and Inclusion
Yep.
in Behavior Analysis.
I couldn't remember what it was called.
It's okay. I got them all.
Yeah, you're good like that. You're the library.
Yep.
The titles are hard because we usually have a title that when we're like planning, we're like, well, it'll be something like this. And then we do the episode and then we're like, we got to call it something different because like our original titles, it's a placeholder. But then sometimes we keep the same title from the place. So sometimes you have like 2 or 3 titles in the filing system. So it can be hard to remember the titles.
We're clearly professionals, though.
I remember
Don't
the
doubt
content.
that.
It's the titles that are really throwing me for a loop.
Okay. Thank you, Jackie.
Thanks, Jackie.
everyone.
Thanks for everyone writing in. It's always great to get emails from folks. And well, I guess that brings us to the end. Hopefully there's a short preview for a short month.
That's right.
So let's do
Knocked it out
some
of the park.
plugs. If people want to reach out to us, we are always excited to have them do so. You certainly could subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, wherever you want to listen to podcasts. We love getting reviews on those sites too. We should probably do like a review at some point. We always have a hard time finding those things. So
I just found some on owltail.com.
what's that?
I don't know.
Okay, well, someone reviewed us there. Thank you. If you reviewed us on owltail.com, whatever that is, I hope that's an appropriate site to review
It's on
podcasts.
podcast.
I have heard of it.
Okay, I haven't. I guess I'm not as young and hip as I let on earlier. Sorry, everybody. So you can also visit us on social media at ABA Inside Track. We're on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter. I'm forgetting the names of social media sites. You can go to our website, abainsidetrack.com, to find all of the articles that we will be discussing in February, as well as to get a listing of all of our old episodes and to purchase CEs for any of those episodes if you would like to listen to them and then purchase CEs from us. You can find all these posted on YouTube as well. If you're seeing this on YouTube, you can see our pretty faces or smiling faces. We hope that you think they're pretty as well on YouTube for these preview episodes.
Like this.
Yep, just like that. That's the stuff. You got it. And you can also... You guys just making faces. I can't do my plugs. Sorry.
That's what Zoom is made for.
Yeah.
Zoom is for making faces at your colleagues. See, that's gonna be the episode art, Jackie, if you make faces like that. Not one of these cute ones with the flowers or anything. You can also email us at any time at abainsidetrack@gmail.com. And if you're interested in more ABA Inside Track content, why not, like we said at the top of the show, join us on patreon.com/ABA Inside Track. For just $5 a month, you can join our social club where we get together every other month for social meetups. We also, you can vote in our polls for things like our book club. That is, again, it's coming up pretty soon. I think that's everything. I think I got it all. Hooray. All right, you guys are getting too silly for podcasting, so we'll wrap this up.
Rob, I got you this.
Oh, thank you so much. I just thought you were holding it for fun. I didn't know it was for me. We'll be
All
back
right.
next week with the first of our February full-length episodes. But until then, keep responding. Bye.
Bye.